Welcome back, Papa's Posse. Once again, it's time for another reading from Papa's Comic Books, Coffee, and more. Okay, today's reading will be Gotham City, Year 1, Issue Number 2 by Tom King and Phil Hester. This book was $4.99 way back in 2023. All right, now don't forget, this book and others are available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. Hit that subscribe button if you don't mind. It really helps me out, helps out the channel. I'd appreciate that. Give me a like or a dislike, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you want to hear next, okay? If it's in my library, I'll be sure to try to get it on. Let's get going here. All right. There have been 6 murders in Gotham City this calendar year. Mr. Leo Starr administered poison to his wife, who was dying of cancer. He called the police after she passed and immediately confessed. Miss Stella Drath suffocated her newborn child for fear that her affair with his father would be found out. The boy was buried in a jacket we traced back to her. When confronted with the evidence, she admitted to the crime. Mr. Charles Panza stabbed his mother in the heart in autumn. He too phoned to the police and claimed it was self-defense. Our investigation later revealed that Mr. Panza had taken out a significant insurance policy on his mother not a week before. A 12-year-old Mr. Donnie Wilson got a hold of his father's pistol and fired it into his older brother, who was 14 years old. They were arguing over the Saturday morning cereal. The boy did not seek to hide the crime. Mr. Adam Portis, a vagrant, used a metal pipe to bludgeon Mr. John Fitch, who was walking home from his plumbing job. Portis was drunk, hit the man, stole his watch. He later tried to sell the watch at a pawn shop and was identified and apprehended. And Mr. Gil Says got into a fist fight with his line supervisor, Mr. Andrew Puckett. Mr. Andrew Puckett says beat him to death with his fists. When he was done, he apologized and waited for the authorities. It was about 7 in the morning. 6, all accounted for, all solved, and oversaw each personally. Do you know how many murders Metropolis has had in the same time period? At least that was my best guess. No, Commissioner. We've been going since last night. 74, 31 unsolved. We've got almost twice their population. I based the time on their coffee breaks, which seem to come on the hour. Congratulations, Commissioner. People have all sorts of theories on why GCPD is so good. This is the safest city in the country, and I believe in the world. Do you think with a record like that, I am going to just let the murderer of Mr. John Dawson go off into the pleasant night? Personally, I think it's the irregularity of the coffee intake. No, Commissioner, I do not believe you will. Johnny worked for me like a secretary. Last time I saw Johnny was yesterday. He was headed out to get lunch. And yes, he sometimes carries my gun as part of our job, and I guess he had it on him. Then I didn't ask. Going to go grab some grub, boss. Before he came back, I also left. I'm working a divorce case up to the Springs District. Wife thinks her husband has a liaison in the park there. No husband in the park. I rode a bench until after sunset. I drank some to pass the time. When I got back to the office around 7, Johnny wasn't there. I figured he had gone home, didn't give it 2 thoughts. I sat down at my desk. I passed out at my desk. Too much booze. Slept soundly, missed your calls. Finally, one woke me up. Thank you for that. So I went down to the south side where they told me to go. Saw the body. Volunteered to come downtown, talk to your men. And I've been singing this song ever since, over and over and over. I was lying. You're lying? I'd actually been at the Waynes being drafted to help deliver money to whoever kidnapped their young daughter. No, sir, I'll stay here all day and all night again. This was my friend, Johnny Boy. I want to help you as much as I can. The kidnapper said if the police got wind of their plans, they'd kill the girl. You're not doing well. You should talk better. See, I'm going to close this thing, and if you're in it and you're lying, now you'll personally be your trial telling the judge to get you the chair. If I had to hold the police where I was I had told the police where I was and why, they'd have been all over the case and I would have leaked out good and fast. This is not some scum slub where you can get away with your sins. This is Gotham, where the angels rise. So I kept my mouth shut and dealt with what I came with. And the devils burn. Eventually, they let me go. There was nothing tying me to the crime except the gun. And I'd given them the names of a dozen people who'd say sometimes Johnny carried it without me. Besides, even they were stupid enough to think I was stupid enough to kill my partner with my own gun. I'd been up for 36 hours. I went home to sleep it off. I knew there was a lot of trouble coming, and I figured it was best to face it awake. Unfortunately, I had to delay my participation in that particular luxury. Mr. Bradley, I do hope you remember me. I'm Sue. Sue had given me the letter from the kidnappers that had passed to the Waynes. I remember you. You want to come in? She brought me into the house. Thank you, sir. That's very kind of you. I have been waiting for a decent while. I got your house from the book. I thought you'd be here about it this time. It seemed the proper place for you. And she was my only way out of it. It's been a busy morning. Can I help you? You send that old man to follow me. The one that killed dead. What do you know about that? You shouldn't interfere with me. They got where I live and who my people are. They see me all the time. If you're behind me, they're seeing you too. And they saw him, and look at him now. So don't be mad at me. I didn't ask for that. It isn't my fault at all. There are reasons. There are serious people. You want to sit down? There's a chair by the desk. It's too early to drink. You want milk? You hearing me? I don't want you to go grabbing me and tossing me and slapping me, screeching at me and asking me all sorts of things about where I come from and how I got here and what I need. There's consequences. For that now isn't my choice, but it'll happen all the same. I've been pushed around plenty lately. It didn't work much on me. That rough stuff go over with you? No. But I thought you might give it a whirl and wanted you to be prepared for the aftermath of any such decisions. You know the Batman? What's a Batman? You mean baseball? That's the guy who wrote the note you left me to give to the Waynes. That's what they're calling him. You know who wrote the note? You're serious people? What? I thought you said it was too early for drink. Too early for you, a little late for me. Let's meet in the middle. Listen, Sue, I got a message for the Batman. The Waynes say, yes, okay. I'll have what the Batman asked for. Just tell me how to give it to him. You got that? Yes. And the instructions? I got it. All right, then get out of here. Tell him. I'm going to sleep. I'll be back at the office by 4. Meet me there with the answer. That all of time. That all of it? Unless you can think of something else, I'm open to suggestions. No, sir. Wait, I do have one more thing. They got Johnny Boy, fine. That one's on me. I tried something wicked and I paid for it. But if that baby's hurt, a hair on her head, I'm playing this straight now, and that's going to be on them. I don't know about any baby, but you shouldn't. I heard you. They're serious people, Sue. Fine. I'll make sure not to laugh too much at their funeral. I got back to my office at 3 and found a letter on the floor. This one addressed to me, not Wayne. I told her 4. I told her in person. I opened it. You will meet at the top roof of Finger Apartment on 6th 7th Street. 1 a.m. You will have 100,000 in bags, small bills, 10, 20, no money counting, no tricking. Baby good, but ready to have mommy. We have good woman taking care. We watched you now. We watch you know how. We watch you know now. Please, are there any baby in very bad? Be good. Then I look over to the Waynes. I will be going with you. Richard, this is not up for discussion, Constance. It should be thorough. It, it should be seen through. I'm terrible. I'm not sure that's my smartest idea, Mr. Wayne. If you want to do it their way, well, maybe that's the best way to do it. Simple and easy, done and done. If you want to go another way, that's a different talk. And maybe the right way is to get our hands all over this thing. It's a rooftop, not so many ways in and out. I could get you an army of men watching ready to jump. They come for the money, and we take them and the baby. No, I don't want to push them over to something rash. I'll stay back. Bradley can still take front and center. They'll understand why I'm there if they see me, if they see you, or the people out, Loader, Lord knows. But I'm her father, and I should be there in person, just in case. Richard, please don't be a child. Shut your painted whore mouth, you idiot woman. You're too stupid to understand any of this. Mr. Wayne, I don't believe that will. I am going to prepare the money. We will depart here at 10 sharp, Mr. Bradley. Sir? 10. That man, you're right to object. He shouldn't come, or we should take action, like Loader said. This is between business, is trouble. Yes, well, thank you for that keen insight. But let me ask you, are you the heir to the city? Are you the father of the princess, the great hope for its future? No, ma'am, no. Well then maybe you should keep your damn foolish opinions to yourself. And do what you're told, as she walks out. Loader tells me you're friendly with the Negroes, Mr. Bradley. I get by. Perhaps when this trouble is over, you might help me with those people. I'm sure you have heard there have been some strange objections from the quarter to the new facility I'm putting up in the south side. It's all ludicrous. This is for their benefit, if anything, but I could use a man who can penetrate the muck. Mr. Wayne, with all respect for all you know, as you've noted, I could be the one who took your daughter. And now you're offering me a job? If you are being honest, Mr. Bradley, as I hope you are risking quite a bit for my family. And as such, you will have shown both good judgment and courage, traits I would like to reward. If, however, you are lying, and this is all a sham to separate me from my dollar, well then, that is something to be considered as well. In this case, you will have demonstrated a talent for planning, execution, the delicate manipulation of power, traits I certainly would not wish to reward, but traits nonetheless for which I most definitely could find a use. Dark crisis. New golden age. The Finger Apartments weren't exactly the Ritz. We walked in without anyone knowing or caring. We took the elevator up to the highest floor, 37. There we found the access to the roof. We went through and up a flight of stairs. We stopped at the door. Wait! I don't want to spook them if the most important part is getting my daughter back. I can wait here if you think that might work better. I didn't say anything. I looked at my watch. 1 a.m. on the dot. I left him behind. It was another wet and cold night. I should have brought an umbrella. That would have been the smart move. But sometimes I'm not that smart. Hello again. Her, on the other hand, you got a gun? All I have is money. I wouldn't know about that. Where's the girl? You and your baby. I don't know what that means either for the 15th or the 16th time. I have the worst trouble keeping track. All I know, they gave me another letter for you and said I wasn't supposed to give it until I got some bag. And they said, that's important. That's the bag. No. It's done. What is it? Were they there? Where's Helen? No, they don't have her. No, it's a con, or it's not right. They want the money for an envelope. I don't know what's even in it. I'm not an offer worth taking. It's not an offer worth taking. We'll wait for the next one. Where are you going? They have my baby. You need to get her back. Sir, Mr. Wayne, I've had enough people with hands on me the last few days. I ask you to remove that before I have to. You go back out there, you lazy coward, and you give them the money. It's not yours. She's not your daughter. You go out there and you do it. Take your hand off me, sir. Now. I can't do this without you, Bradley. I can't be the excuse if that baby's... Do you know what she'll do to me if I fail? Do you have any damn clue what that harpy is? We can't in good conscience give up 100,000 without seeing your daughter. It's not good for anyone. We stop here. We find a different path. I know Gotham is my city. It's the way to play it. I'm sorry, but I have to disagree. Mr. Wayne, I understand you're upset. Anyone would be. But you need to pack that gun away before you get hurt. No, you're going out there. You're giving up that money and you're coming back with a way to get Helen. It's not your child, it's not your money, and it sure as hell isn't your city. No, Mr. Bradley, it's all mine. I went up to the rooftop again. The rain hadn't let up any. I dropped the bag on the ground. All right? She gave me the letter. Thank you so very much. I like this. I was honestly worried there, mister. I don't see a reason to you to lie to me. This is more fun and better and nicer because they can get awful angry, and I don't even want to have to handle all of that. I put the letter in my coat pocket to keep it dry. Thank you. She walked away from me to the edge of the building. Aren't you polite? I thought I'd get more threats, this being the big goodbye, hon. I'll make sure not to laugh too much at the funeral. Isn't that funny I laughed at that? I watched her hoist herself onto the ledge. 37 stories up, 37 stories down. You know what you need to know? Where are you going now? She stood there, said her piece. I guess it's like what they say in all the books they make you read in school. You work hard, pull real tight on the bootstraps. And the sky's the limit. And she jumps off. I ran after her. I'd never seen anything like it. I expected to find her dead on the concrete below, the money scattered, passerby shrieking, looking up at the sky. Instead, she landed softly on a building across the way. Like a cat, she waved at me, as if we were friends. Then she took off. It was too far. All I could do was watch her go. I swear. Wayne tore open the letter like a child on Christmas morning. They are leaving Helen in the Miller Cemetery on Varney, next to the gravesite of my mother and father. They say I'd know one. They say I'd know that one. I do. It's not that far from here. But still, Lord, they're leaving her in this weather? I urged him to call the police. They'd get there faster than we would. But he continued to insist on following the instructions. We arrived at the graveyard at 1:20. The gate was locked, so we scaled it. For a rich boy, Wayne could move pretty fast and got over before I did. His hopes were high. This way. It's right after these rows. Here. Faster, man, faster. Do you see anything? I see Black Adam. Unfortunately, where? Where is she? They said here. Do you see her? Do you hear her? Maybe where? Helen, Daddy's here. Mr. Wayne, no, she's where? Where is she? Helen, where are you, honey? Helen, my Helen, please. Sir, they lied. We need to go to the phone. Call the police. We can. One thing about working in my profession that I think you'd understand, Bruce. No, this is your fault, isn't it? You did this. You did all of this. You stole from me. You stole my daughter. You learn that eventually every man has a breaking point. It's because of them you're working with them, aren't you? You and all of the Negroes want to get me for what? For working? At that point in the place, Richard had reached his. The Waynes made this city, and all your trespassers think you can take it? We earned it. What the hell did people ever do? And I suppose, what? I had reached mine. He took the gun. cops wanted me for murder. The kidnappers had played me for a fool, and the most powerful man in the city was sinking into the dead mud below me, his blood still wet on my fist. I was falling and falling hard, and though I didn't know it then, I'd learned soon enough. I was taking all of Gotham with me. To be continued. That was Gotham City, Year 1, Issue number 2 by Tom King. Well, I hope you enjoyed that reading. Once again, don't forget, this book and others are available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. Hit that subscribe button, give me a like, I really appreciate it down below. And remember, as Batman, Bruce Wayne, and Papa always say,
That was easy.
until next time, Papa is out.